employment obligation because it gets into different issues, they're gonna be responsive. I mean, we are talking about graders, so, and I'm here because Doug calls me, I immediately talk to management, and they tell me to come. Tom, if there's an issue, Jim, if there's an issue, if there's an issue, Greg or Denny, it's a local company, call us, and we'll make sure we're watching that park in a normal way. We don't wanna be a problem. It's not like we have 1,000 stores, you know, we have like a handful of stores in Cincinnati, local business. I've got family representatives. We're taking this very seriously, that's why I'm here. But I think as far as the solution, just keep the sidewalk in, we'll put those cans right there prominently. And if it becomes a problem, like, you know, you're talking about other developments, Greg should call me, and I'll make sure it gets directly into the top people at Graders. And by the way, we are committed to the picnic benches, you know, so hopefully those aren't gonna be gold plated, so, you know, wood or aluminum will work, whatever you wanna recommend.
Tracy, I think Tracy and I talked about this yesterday. Tracy had a comment on the benches as
Yeah,
well.
we'll have to look at them, but the ones that I saw with the aluminum frames, I just don't think are strong enough. I mean, we have, you know, in our parks, because it's not a manned facility, you know, we have the ones in our parks
Sure.
are, you know, steel, and they destroy those. I just don't see aluminum lasting very long.
Tracy, whatever you recommend, I think we're on common ground
I
about.
think so too, and the resolution states, I believe.
Some
that
flexibility
it's-
for by
it's got
staff.
flexibility, approval by staff.
Well, and, I mean, the resolution that we had doesn't mention the benches.
But
I mean,
that's, it doesn't have to, we understand that,
Okay, and
I made it- I made it
and
on
the
purpose.
the same with the sidewalk.
yeah. Hey,
I thought
Doug,
it was in the attachment.
It was in there.
Where?
It was
Any
discussed.
attachment?
In
The
A,
exhibit A,
yeah, exhibit A.
applicant provide a copy of the easement agreement for Galbraith Road, access lane services, the drive-through window, and then the rest of it just talks about trash cans.
hey, Doug, it's, obviously you weren't there, Deepak may have missed it, but I will, as an agent for Kroger, say there was definite discussion about 2 or 3 picnic benches, and then two
Oh, I know there
two
was
traffic-
discussion.
And we're agreeable to that, so if, you know, we're not walking back our
Well,
commitment that I made to people, so.
The other thing is the sidewalks on the township property, correct?
Correct.
Right.
So, I mean, there's nothing, that's something that has to come in the future anyway, as far as some kind of agreement where they're gonna pay for that sidewalk.
I think they're talking about a sidewalk. that
I think
goes
the sidewalk we're
across
talking about is,
the-
it's on our property,
It's on their
leading from the building.
So it's on the site plan?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
But did it not show a walkway in the park
Yes.
going over to the
I
circular
mean,
area?
from what I saw, their sidewalk was just painted on the asphalt.
Yeah.
There was going to be money provided to build a concrete sidewalk in the park to go from there to those circular sidewalks in the park.
Richard shaking his head.
I'd have to check with Kevin, because I'm not aware we were doing, that was the whole, we were trading off the receptacles in the park bench for the, I guess, the landscape. And if that's a question, Tracy, I don't wanna say you're wrong, I would need to talk to Kevin. Kevin right now is flying up to Cleveland for a zoning hearing, and I'll know tomorrow.
Okay.
But we were looking at our on-site improvements, and then we were making a donation, effectively a $1 donation, that was for it was a trade-off with the landscaping and the like for the park benches and the trash receptacle. But that's a conversation, if Tracy,
Well,
you wanna come back, I
was hoping,
just don't wanna say
I
that.
was hoping to get this done today, but potentially, I guess it needs to be Thursday, because I don't know what the deal is on the side. Tracy was certainly.
I'm gonna call Kevin as soon as I get out of the meeting, and
Okay.
he should have landed.
Well, we have a resolution here that we were gonna vote on, so we can vote on it on Thursday night.
Right, you can vote on it, and if it's still, I think we left it as a discussion point in the actual easement agreement, but I think that draft came over. I think it had already been delivered to you. So, if there's a question, I always respect that. I don't wanna be rushed, and I don't like to rush
Well,
somebody.
I guess my point is, I don't think anybody here was under the impression that the township would be paying for this sidewalk.
I think the idea was whatever you wanted to do with the parkland, we were gonna make some kind of a contribution, and, you know, the dollar amounts we were talking about, and I don't have a problem stating the number was around $5,000, was to make a contribution. So, I put that number out there.
And I can't put in the resolution, graders will give us $5,000.
No, but I mean, look, this is.
That's what I'm saying, it may be something that has to come in the future when we know exactly where it's going and your building's being done, because it makes sense to do it all at the same time.
Our commitment was definitely to the park benches and to the trash receptacles. If there's a question, I don't mind grabbing Kevin, because Kevin may
Why
have
don't
a
you
separate
find out?
discussion I didn't have.
Why don't you find out and we'll get a final determination
Okay.
Thursday night on a resolution.
On the trash cans, Tracy and I went through some yesterday, and I think we found some that are they're concrete, so they're not gonna get beat up. With an inside liner, you don't have to touch a handle to open it up. And he's gonna look into those as well, maybe with the Sycamore Township logo on the
That's
side.
fine. And obviously, I just wanna be able to tell my client what we're looking at in
Yeah.
terms of that
Well,
expense.
it sounds like we're not looking at the big bellies.
Yes.
Correct.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
and I think that's a good decision, I don't wanna make it.
I'm sure you do.
No, I just, there was all kinds of weird images, like compacting ice cream, and it just, food service, compacting food is gross anyway.
Yeah.
But if it's sitting there in a hot summer day for 2 or 3 days,
Summer day.
I just don't think that was gonna be a healthy, a good solution from a sanitary standpoint. I don't know anything about the Big Belly, I'm not trying to malign their company, it didn't sound like a good solution.
I don't know that much about Big Belly either. I only know that some communities have purchased them for the purposes of not having to constantly empty trash cans.
Yeah.
The only reason I thought, because it might apply here in this case.
Well, yeah, I could see it applying maybe in a festival kind of setting where you got like 3-day event, you just got a lot of trash being generated, and you want those things to be working automatically, but I don't think Graders has a reputation of being a gigantic trash generator. Everything generates trash in some form. The question relative to it is, I think we know what our obligation is beyond the zoning resolution. Graders know what its obligation is to the community. We do not want to get a phone call from Greg Bickford saying, or Tracy saying, there's a mess on our property line. And I'm sure those managers are gonna be told, police that area, you know, they're not gonna just walk by. That's not Graders' reputation.
Okay. All right. You have a question?
Yeah, will there be a memorandum of understanding between the township and graders on this issue?
I'm sure there will.
Okay, and then graders seem to agree that a good idea was to not have a trash can in the park, because undoubtedly that's going to add expenses for the township over the next 20, 30, 100 years, who knows? If they're at that location of emptying the receptacles regularly, which are not. So if graders is willing to put 2 right on the edge of their property, I'd like the township to consider just pulling the receptacles out so that the township doesn't incur that expense ongoing.
Thank you.
And Tom, you can always revisit this with us too. I mean, if you start out with us just on our trash receptacles,
So there's no
again,
additional expense.
you can always call if there's a problem. You know, you can always call us if there's a problem. If you wanna start with that as a solution and you see a problem, again, it's a phone call. I mean, Doug can reach me in 30 seconds.
I'm gonna yield to our expert on maintenance and parks,
Yes.
and that would be Tracy Kellums. And
Yes,
Tracy-
that's not me.
Tracy maintains that trash cans are good in the park, so for that reason, I think we should probably go ahead and put them in the park.
And by the way, Richard, if you think people don't throw trash down in the parks, you've
Yeah.
never cleaned one.
No, listen,
Trust me.
my first job was maintaining an apartment complex called Village Brook out in Kemper and McCarran. I know, yeah, I've seen human nature in
It's
that.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
Just when you
Tracy,
think you've seen everything.
as a point of clarification, you said that we do a weekend sweep
All during the summer.
during the summer
Yeah.
anyway, so there would
Which
be
is
no.
gonna be their heavy season.
Right, so that's not adding additional cost for us to have cans in the park.
We've already got somebody out.
If I may ask, to follow up on Mr. Tranter's term of receptacles and Mr. Kellums and his road department, how often throughout the year does the township go through and clean out, replace the trash bags and so forth? And then my final question is, Does your Mr. Kellums, does your staffers ever get back to you and say, hey, we need to go through there more often because they're overflowing or whatever?
They do. I mean, they're all done once a week. If they're overflowing, they're done more. But they're on a schedule for once a week, except for Bechtold Park, and anytime we have a rental, they're done every day if there's a rental.
So the other parks are done basically also once a week then too?
Yes, unless there's a special event there.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
we'll figure this out.
Okay.
So we'll hold off on that resolution for graders until Thursday, hopefully you can get some resolutions and good language. Next item is Parks and Rec update, Mr. McEwen.
Yeah, just remind you about the car show this coming Saturday. Steve Royals-Hoffer is actually going to take my place at the car show. I'll have everything ready. One of my daughters decided to get married Saturday, so.
Congratulations.
But everything's set, you know. If you guys want to get there to judge, the earlier the better, afternoon.
But they still want us to take part in the ceremony though, right?
Yeah.
So,
But the car show people would like to get judging done as quickly as possible, so that's what they told me.
What time do you recommend being there?
Between 12 and 1 sometime.
okay. So you're saying not, that they're not gonna wait till 2:30 to do their awards?
Well, they might have to, it just depends on, but they're gonna start judging actually probably before noon.
Okay, so they moved their part up,
Yeah.
so they want us to
So-
move our part
So
up as well.
I can probably get there by one
Okay.
10.
I mean, the awards will still be, you know, at 3 or whatever. Remember last year we moved it up a little bit,
Yeah,
so.
As much as we like to bond together, I will be in Pittsburgh at my nephew's wedding, so I'll be happy.
I will be at my nephew's wedding also, but it is until 5 o'clock in Columbus. So, the car show and then drive to it.
Wedding season.
Yeah. You got a wedding anywhere, Tom, Saturday?
What's that?
Or you going to a wedding Saturday?
I'm not.
If not, can you book one,
I might
please?
be going to a divorce Saturday.
Okay, Lifeline screening will be back at Schuler Park on August the 12th, in case anyone's interested. And festival, we are still waiting for a few bills, but it looks like we're gonna come in under budget.
Very good.
Excellent.
So under that 100,000? Under the 100,000.
Yeah.
I think we're sitting about 89 right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
85, 89.
Excellent.
That's a bargain.
We, just to let you know, we ended up with 21 sponsors. You know, I wish all of them could have been gold sponsors, but, you know, 21's a pretty good amount.
That's good enough.
That's good.
So, anyway, thank you to everybody. Tracy's crew did an excellent job as usual. We got lots of positive comments. So, we'll have a final report for you as soon as everything comes in.
Okay, great.
Quick question following up on that. It was great participating in that event. Did the township figure out roughly the attendance of residents at that event?
There's no way.
There's no way to do that. Sheriff Department update, do we have anything?
No report from Tori.
Chief?
I should have the monthly report out for the Thursday meeting, kind of close, but I think I can get it. And then, moving on to the other two, one, Mr. Miller has a resolution for the salary, department of it is for replace the hydrant painting guy that we have. He's just not, I mean, he's doing them, but not enough for my liking.
Okay.
So, we got, Danny Leham's got a nephew, I believe, or a cousin that applied, and one of our firemen's got one, his son. And these are student kids that are willing and able to put in multiple hours while what summer we have left, so
Okay.
we're hoping that works out for us.
Yep.
And then the only other resolution is we made a agreement last meeting to get rid of that Crown Vic back there, so he'll get that, and I'll go ahead and post that on the website, Hamilton County Auction. What's it weigh?
Oh, Chief, question on Lehan, he's with the maintenance department, this is done under your auspices, so Dan would not have any control?
Not at all,
over him?
no.
Okay.
They're not even, they wouldn't even be considered under the fire department, firefighting part of it. It's strictly just hydrant maintenance. Yeah, no
So
emergency
long as he's
vehicle,
not in the chain of command?
not at all. And they won't be doing any emergency runs, no emergency vehicles, nothing like that.
Okay.
It's all good.
Any questions? Looks like we have a couple of resolutions.
I have a resolution, which one was first? A resolution declaring the fire department vehicle as surplus and obsolete, authorizing its disposition and dispensing with the second reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Mr. Porter?
Mr. LaBarber?
Aye.
Mr. Connor?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
And a resolution establishing the rate of pay for township employees and dispensing with the second reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Mr. Porter?
Mr. LaBarber?
Aye.
Mr. Connor?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye. Next item on the agenda is maintenance update.
Yeah, we have a couple things, if you haven't already found out, you'll want to stay away from the intersection of Sycamore and Plainfield. It is a disaster right now. Water main work is supposed to start today, Cincinnati Bell finished up yesterday, Dukas Underground should finish up today. Water main will take about a week, and then they're supposed to start on the roundabout. So if you've been out there, there's Jersey walls right down the middle of the wall, middle of the road, there's only one lane of traffic both ways. We still have people going the wrong way, the detour's been up 2 weeks and they're still going the wrong way.
That's pretty easy to do. I was over there yesterday driving around, nights, people go the wrong way. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Tracy, is that gonna remain one way throughout the whole construction project? Right there,
It'll stay like that till
circle done?
the circle's done. Also, we're looking to host a winter training seminar for the townships. We're looking to do that October 7th at Schuler Park. We've already got 50 people signed up, and looking to add more. We're gonna have some sponsors come in and take care of the cost of that.
What was that again, Tracy?
Winter training seminars for, mainly for
For maintenance staff?
snowplow drivers,
Maintenance staff, got it, okay.
What's the date on that?
October 7th. Everybody seems to have a lot of new employees from either adding or people retiring. A lot of people have not been through training, so we've decided to host that. Speaking of the roundabout, the house at 8579 Plainfield Road just had the asbestos abatement done. So we are now ready to have that demoed. And I have a proposal here from Pavement Management, who was the cheapest. I thought we could get one better from Barrett since they're on site and working, but theirs was a little bit more. So this proposal's for $13,953 for Pavement Management to take down the house.
Is that what we,
The rest of that is one we
okay.
Do we do that by vote, or do we need to do resolution on that?
What are you asking for?
Approval
Approval
proposal.
to take it down?
To take it
Yeah,
down.
you need-
Resolution?
Resolution or
No, I
just a
think just
simple vote? Okay.
approve the
Yeah,
time.
I will make a motion to approve the
$13,000.
$953.
$953 quote to take the building down.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Mr. Porter?
Mr. LaBarber?
Aye.
Mr. Connor?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
What was the address of that?
8579 Plainfield Road. The only other thing I have is that some prices have come in lower, both our curb project and our Cape Seal project. So we have some money left over, and I'd like to do an Onyx program. This is onyxing roads that were Cape sealed approximately 4 to 5 years ago, which includes Gideon Lynn, Chris Sandy Moore, Michael Nottingway, Don Lee, Lisa, and Carolyn Kirtley. And this is for a total of $81,982.60 with Strausser. And I'm sure we would have to instruct Mr. Miller for a resolution for that.
You're saying that the $80,000+ is
It's in
from
budget.
cost savings from
Yes.
a previous project?
We have it in budget.
In the budget, okay.
Is this the same company this is a different company that did the bad job?
No, it's the same company, it's a different product. It's the original product that they used to use.
Which works fine.
This was originally not a bunch of stone gravel.
No, this is the coat.
This is the black spray paint.
Pisses
We
everybody off.
already did
We're getting ready to do that now.
I'll make the motion to direct Mr. Miller to prepare a resolution approving the Onyx program you just described
For 81,000.
for
$982.60.
$81,982.60.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Mr. Porter?
Mr. Barber,
Aye.
Mr. Connor,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
Unless you have any questions, that's all I have.
Okay. Purchase orders over 2,500.
Two for your consideration, one you just voted on was pavement technologies, or pavement management, $13,953.00. Second one is a blanket vendor, it's releasing chief for his vehicles, an additional $20,000, that was originally budgeted. So just a blanket PO, those are the two I have for you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Mr. Porter?
Mr. Barber,
Aye.
Mr. Connor,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
Before you schedule, can I bring
Yes.
something up that I just realized? I will not be here on August 13th, which is the next scheduled workshop date. And I know there are other vacation schedules, so I'm just double checking to make sure. I would say we could go to the 20th, which would, it's still within the middle of the month, but I'm not sure that we'll have a quorum on the 20th, so.
Let's, I might have a problem with that. Let's communicate with Greg, the three of us, and then we can, try to determine what works.
Okay.
So you're unavailable on
I'm
Thursday?
unavailable on the 13th, I am available on the 20th. And I'm available on the 14th, it's not a
What
matter,
are we
it's that
doing?
week, it's not
Okay,
just the day.
okay, well, let's look at it, we'll try to determine, let's communicate back to Greg, the three of us, and see if there's any,
Yeah, I mean,
we can find a common date.
well,
What's wrong?